great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to uptown Charlotte at rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
What's up, man?
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders.
Playing another rain football game today.
4 wins out of 5.
I played the Saints in the rain and couldn't really get the ball in the air, but until like the last 2 quarters. Let's see how we do against the Panthers.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is taken at its full.
Yes, sir.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And his stat...
Spencer.
Last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
From the 32 now, here's first. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs.
Let's go. By far, yeah. After releasing I have to keep him right for now because I don't have another freaking quarterback. So if Brissett gets injured, I'm going to have to put in Derek Carr.
Because as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. Other people to get the numbers that they needed, but they really wanted him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check it back.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. Looking to find a
You're on vacation right now, too,
at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. We run through the starters now defensively for Carolina. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
Throwing, Brissett. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Oh, okay. That sucks. So you're still going to school?
And the win last 4 times as this one's away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
Well, he got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, but I love was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense, and 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And that continues. It'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
14 yards, good for a Panther first down. A check on the numbers by Moore last week. 9 catches, 125 yards, and a touchdown.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now. Number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
A pretty good looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. They had 2 straight first downs. Now a gain of 9 to set up second and 1. Open man, Keelan Cole. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them. Screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing out second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight ends that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
In any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle?
Ooh, intercepted, right? Perfect timing.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Bing, bada, bang, bada, boom.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do you do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play. We're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, put the ball in the hands of my quarterback and give him a run-pass option.
Set. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter doing pretty good because he's out there all the time.
And first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Here's McCaffrey. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Newton.
Let's go.
Escaping, he goes
Sack
down. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
And he goes down, getting this inside the 25. That burst good for 20 and a first down. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now on 2nd and 16, Brissett, and he rips that one incomplete there. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he's going to be brought down short of the first down, right around the 17. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
fucking get the point.
And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field. Trying to figure out who can gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
Don't you have on your
make sure you give them their respect.
On your wherever you edit your video, don't you have a tool where you can blur it out? Pretty sure there's a tool in your editing app where you can use a square to blur out the advertisement that comes out.
And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Now on 2nd and 13. Newton gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
It's a Panthers 1st down, 17 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? Sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it and allowing their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. We just saw that on this game.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Off the play fake, here's Brissett. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big play that time for the Raiders. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about.
Let's go, touchdown, man. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Abram able to make the play defensively. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. But he finds a man, it's Olsen. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They've been practicing offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Throwing again is Newton. They'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
51, 51. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Newton. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, and it's the Broncos who are out in front. The Broncos trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head to the Big East. Check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. A touchdown there for Alvin Kamara. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Allen Robinson, a touchdown reception. In our game is Jacoby Brissett, who's led the way on offense in the first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Again, they run again. It's McCaffrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to loft one.
Intercepted again. Let's go.
Joyner with a pick.
Second one of the day. They're winning the season.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Okay.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20.
Close to being safe.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 40-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he sort of
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when and told me, I don't care about throwing 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
11 yards and a Panther first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now a carry for Jacobs. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Check. Press them. Begin. 36.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Raiders.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you know.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the playmaker Luke Kuechly that picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception and as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hand.
And the Raiders have got him. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Brissett.
No.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now Brissett. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
And there was absolutely 0 pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Jacobs. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46.
You got time. You got time right there. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Jacobs now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up.
Counter play with Jacobs. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw down. Brissett. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here to pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Back to throw, Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and it's 3rd and short. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers have taken the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off now. On the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
So the Raiders now down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 23 yards on the play. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Brissett. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And finding the tight end Wilson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Miles Killebrew with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
Pick your game up.
What is it?
And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Panthers, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.